Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Game 2 in a best of 3. VPpolar taking on Alliance. It's an elimination match. It's for a major tournament, the biggest one in the post-TI4 era to date. It's your Dota 2 Asia Championships 2015. The prize pool already bigger than several previous internationals and still growing. There's a big chest still to be released from what the rumor mill has been circulating, what Valve I think has even hinted at. So with that in mind, this prize pool will continue to grow, and it's VPpolar who hold the lead right now. They're 1-0 in the best of 3. They had a pretty solid lead early on, running the better late game lineup, having great counters to Broodmother as well as Klakes with the Night Stalker. Got a gem. Illidan was zoning on Slark. And then he started overextending, and it happened several times. They lost their gem. Alliance came back into it, but they couldn't close them out. And well, with that said, VPpolar ended up taking the game. Alliance tried to rat, but ended up being forced to defend, and their lineup was just not built to do it. So now we go to Game 2 with VPpolar holding that 1-0 lead. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit, and I'm joined by KOTLguy. Dakota, we get Tiny Wisp. Something fresh.
Yep, the dynamic duo, Alliance, feeling confident to open up with these two right off the bat, and they're allowing Virtus.pro to kind of work with this as the draft does progress. They start more standard. They get a hold of the Vengeful Spirit, first and foremost, that Platinum tier support, and then they followed up with the Puck shortly thereafter. So we see this, and we kind of need to analyze where we're going to look to take it from here. They ban out the line, looking at they're going to have a secondary support, but you know what interests me here is the Wisp being grabbed. I wonder if they're going to consider changing the roles up. It was olden Alliance days that Potato/EGM was the big Wisp player. I wonder if they're going to keep him in that off-lane/mid lane position, or if they're going to put him back on his old tried and true Wisp role.
They played Wisp once so far with this lineup, and when they did, it was Ake, but I suppose it's possible. EGM did not have a very good game on the Puck last time. He's definitely going to have to step it up. Whether he's playing the Wisp or whether or not they keep him in that 2/3 position, that was not an S4 Puck, that's for sure. So, 4th pick comes out now for VPpolar. I like this Drow Ranger ban. It's definitely something you have to be worried about. Like busting out the Drow Visage, running 4 ranged heroes. If you have Tiny Wisp and it's early enough, you're not going to be able to defend against that level of push. So the other hero that I'd be a little worried about if I'm Alliance is the Lycan this particular game. Very elusive, good at just bypassing the Tiny Wisp and going for other heroes, and also a hero that excels at ending games quickly if he needs to. So not necessarily what VPpolar have in mind, but definitely in their box of tricks. And they will have this final ban, and then they'll move right along into the first pick of Phase 2.
Other potential counters in the pool that could have an answer for this Tiny Wisp duo. If they need a secondary support, they can get the Witch Doctor for his cast to bounce. And, well, they can also consider maybe something like a Viper to be able to kite about this Tiny. They had already banned out the Bristle, fearing something similar around that nature and someone else who likes the long-winded fights. But you know, I'm curious to see where they're going to look to take it from here. I've also been so anxious to see the Chen play from Alliance, and specifically from Ake. We saw it in their opening matchup against Tinker. Tinker just respect-bound out that Chen right off the bat in every game. And I was thinking that, oh, maybe they've been doing it a lot in scrim play, and they were just fearsome of it. But we haven't yet seen the real debut of the Chen, at least as far as Alliance goes. Now on VPpolar, look at this. 3rd pick is going to be the inimitable Doom grab. I don't see the real direct counter to either of these two, but I guess having a Doom on your side certainly doesn't hurt.
Yeah, Doom definitely not a direct counter. In fact, Doom normally struggles against Wisp, because Wisp can always just relocate out whoever the Doom target is, and then they're safely tucked away in the base, wait out most of the Doom, come right back. Obviously, dooming the Wisp is amazing, but normally Wisp is off the map. Alliance
they need to
get
get
a Witch Doctor.
An AA here would be a good grab, I'd say, for Virtus.pro. They need a secondary support, and it would definitely nerf Wisp's healing potential. Plus, now you got Witch Doctor with the Voodoo Restoration. Might have also been maybe a potential deny pick to take away the cast potential against the Tiny and the Wisp, but regardless, a solid grab up there for Alliance. Virtus.pro, I'm curious to see if they're going to look to go for an answer as far as all that healing power.
Yeah, I do want to mention VPpolar, the one time they've run Doom in this tournament, it was a support Doom, a 4-position one for Lil. So don't rule it out that they do that here. And in that case, then they'd be looking at 2 cores. But it's also possible that they move along into a secondary support and run this Doom as something for DK Phobos, or I think more likely would be Mag in that case.
So an Ember Spirit going to be grabbed up here from VPpolar. I'm trying to think now. Do they typically run the Ember in a safe lane matchup, or do they put him mid? I'm curious how he would. I don't think he would fare too well in the mid against the Tiny Wisp.
It's usually DK Phobos. I'm not sure I'm not sure which lane he'll go to this game. I like Ember against Tiny Wisp, though. You try to relocate on him, he just remnants away. He's also does a lot of physical damage, and Wisp has low armor, so good at getting to the Wisp as well with Sleight of Fist, and very difficult to combo because of the Flame Guard. So I think it's a hero that matches up pretty well against Tiny Wisp, and it gives you something that has like that good mix of can gank and pressure early, but doesn't take too long to come online, but still scales pretty well. And if the inevitable Tiny Wisp farm kicks in, then you still have some ability to deal with them later on. Seeing this, I am curious, though. I guess they could run like the Illidan Doom, potentially. If they want to run the Doom as a core, it's got to be like Illidan Doom, DK Phobos Ember, Mag Puck, and then another support. The alternative is to run the 4-position Doom, and then maybe we see the DK Phobos Ember, the Mag Puck, and something else for Illidan. So 2 lines of approach here for VPpolar as we move along into our last few picks, and Tidehunter will be snagged by Alliance. Picking into it against Doom, still solid. It's a good way to counter-initiate, and if you Doom the Tide, then the Wisp Tiny can just do whatever they want in the fight.
Yeah, it's always nice if you're going against the Doom also to create multiple targets for the Doom, so he kind of has to second guess and make sure that he makes the right call for using that said Doom, because at least until you get a refresher, you got one, you better use it. Now, Tidehunter, fantastic, great crowd control, great team fight. Really can't say enough about the hero. Still a solid performer. Potentially could be Potatoes grab unless, like I said previously, they decide to switch the roles back once more. And if that is the case, maybe still look at their final core grab right here. Really to round this one out and not having the Doom available on your side to go against this Ember, maybe you need to consider someone who could be able to shut him down and prevent him from being so elusive.
Earthshaker removed, so they are not expecting this this 4-position jungle Doom. We'll have to see what VPpolar want to do. If they want to run it as a core, you mentioned H Apparition. I still think that would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Any other supports they could go for? There's still Sand King out there.
Sand King is great. I do like Sand King a lot. I think they can afford to go a bit greedy here because they have a Wisp. You know he's going to hang in the lane, so you can afford to have a secondary greedy support who can do work in the jungle like a Sand King or maybe even Enigma or something like that.
Right. That's Tidehunter's going to go be farming the Ancient stacks, and they'll go Dazzle. Okay. So Grave will be... It can be useful against Tiny Wisp, but they blow heroes up pretty quickly. I guess what they're looking for with this Dazzle more than anything is just the minus armor from the ultimate. And with that, Ember Spirit and Avenge, you've got a lot of physical damage to come out. And it gives them a good mix because they already have quite a bit of magic from the Puck Doom Ember. So,
yeah,
well-rounded draft here from VP.
And you know, their dire side, it helps with Roche, certainly, having that extra bit of minus armor to work with, so I guess it certainly doesn't hurt. And yeah, Tiny one to already start with pretty low armor. Now it's definitely pressure on him to get an AC somewhere near, otherwise he will be brought down pretty quick.
Good medallion builder if they do want to go for the early rush, like you were mentioning. Axe will be the choice, though.
Pycat Axe, too.
All right. This is a hero that VPpolar have run on occasion. We see it a lot against Lycan or other weak laning melee heroes. Usually more of an aggressive hero. I don't know if they'll actually go aggro try, though. This looks more like dual lanes with the Tiny Wisp. You never know, though.
Yeah, you really don't. It does add a lot of pressure on those side lanes, and I'm not expecting a lot of movement early on from Alliance. It looks like, you know, obviously Axe is going to be doing his own thing in the lane. Tide's going to be pressured to, you know, make work with what he can, side stack the Ancients a bit. Wisp is obviously going to be stuck side by side with Tiny, I'd imagine, wherever he goes, and Doctor can't really do a whole lot on his own. Maybe he can look to interject, but it's already a hard enough group to get a hold of, especially with a Puck on the other side. It looks like most of the early movement could potentially come out from VPpolar, but we'll see. It could be a pretty calm early game looking at both of these teams.
He's also good against minus armor strats, just thanks to the Berserker's Call. Bonus 40 armor. And good luck right-clicking me down.
Yeah, certainly so.
As well as the Dazzle Grave. So I like X here. I also just always like seeing X. The other cool thing is they have the toss initiations for line, so they can toss in the potato or they can toss in the Pycat.
That's true. You don't even need to get a Blink Dagger. If you have a struggling start, you have your own little Blink Dagger right there in the toss.
Yeah, that might make Ake and the Wisp a little sad. Not being treated properly by its lover. I don't know how they make love, the Tiny and Wisp, but they do. Sweet, sweet Dota love.
We'll see here. Brief early pause to lead things out, but we should get back and underway. It looks like a bit of a disconnect for FNG to get back into this one, but this, not going to lie, it's a big pressure game here. If Alliance drop this game, they are eliminated. They are looking to bounce back on the back of this Tiny Wisp to take it to a game number 3. While Virtus Pro, they take this one, they could move on, and the winner obviously going to be facing a Na'Vi, who had taken down Team Empire previous to this matchup.
All right, we're underway now. We'll introduce the teams. Trailing is the Rebel Alliance. You've got Loda on the Tiny. Ake going to be playing the Wisp. The old friends. Couldn't think of anyone better to be paired up. Perhaps the EGM Wisp, but I think these two should do nicely together. Pycat will be handling your axe in the safe lane. My Nuts will be on the Witch Doctor. And Potato goes alone to the off lane with the early boots pickup on the Tide. They'll break down the trees and they'll just start going for some early Tiny Wisp stack shenanigans.
Dire side, it's going to be Virtus Pro Polar. They're already up 1 game and looks to move down here on the bottom lane. It's going to be Lil on the Dazzle. Man, he had a really good line last game getting those pickoffs on the Loda. Now going to look to kind of bring up the healing now armor power for his team. Illidan right behind playing that core Doom mid lane. It's going to be Mag playing his Puck. And of course top lane, that's going to leave DK Phobos on your Ember Spirit. And of course FNG playing one of his favorite heroes that he plays time and time again, the Vengeful Spirit.
They get a great lane ward down, and EGM, no sentries, of course, and when you're running the Wisp will be rushing the bottle. The Witch Doctor has bought all the consumables for the team, so they won't have any sentries. Potato will be under constant pressure from this Ember Spirit Venge, and, well, for now he's got a Wisp at his side. That'll make DK Phobos a little sad, gets slashed a few times. Bounty Rune grabbed by Ake. Bottle already inbound.
Yeah, go for that straight bottle on your Witness. Being able to have the ability to control those runes. Ever since they brought in the 2nd rune, it's been like a Wisp's dream come true. I mean, he was taken away from that sweet stun tether he used to have, which might have been a bit on the OP side, but now with the benefit of having 2 runes, getting a bottle is just so much better. And yeah, getting that early bounty certainly helps on rushing the bottle. He's going to try to zone back Mag a bit so he can't get too much early CS on this first allow Loda to get the upper hand early on. This is what is expected. Ake's just going to help him out a bit and then do those stacks on the side for later.
FNG trading blows a bit with Potato here, so early on keeps on tossing out the anchor smashes, and not a ton the Ember can do at this stage. He needs a couple more levels before he really gets aggressive. Enjoy it while you can, Potato. They leave Lil bottom. They're going to have off in the jungle Illidan on the Doom, and Witch Doctor Axe.
Oh, pretty good damage here on the Mag, the stun and toss, and that's all it takes. This is just your classic early setup. Loda's in there. You don't think Ake's anywhere close, and all of a sudden out of the blue, here comes a Wisp, and they just get a brilliant setup. And Mag, before the bottle can get to him, just gets dropped.
We've seen that movie before. In fact, I don't know if we've seen this particular one. He's going to get punished. He's went for the phase shift level 1, so he doesn't have an orb out. They're going to chase. They have the toss. Avalanche a long way off cooling down. Loda, he's going to go for it, though. Gets the toss, gets the kill almost. Not quite. Doom rotates there. Now they get the kill, but it comes at the cost of 2. Unless Ake can tether out. He's got no creeps to tether to. Oh, gross overextend. Oh, he gets it. He gets it barely.
Oh my god.
So
oh, drop the bottle, drop the bottle. Nice. They're going to hand off the bottle and fill it up too. Whew, nice little play right there. And with that bottle, he'll back up. That is so well worth it. They take down Mag twice. They do lose Loda, but at least Ake will live.
What a great escape, and it just makes it sweeter with that bottle. They're going in again on Illidan, and they continue just beating down this middle lane. Oh my, this is not going well.
Especially against a Puck who's so elusive too. They just find the opportunity to quickly make the jump on him before he can even quick react with any sort of phase shift.
Yeah, even if you get off the phase shift at level 1, you're still going to take some of the avalanche stun, so it's kind of irritating to play against. But, looks like we're having a bit of lag. Not so that you really notice as much.
We should probably check in a bit on the other lanes. We're getting so intense on the mid one a bit as they break it out. Pycat on the bottom. here. Looking for some early work in the jungle. My nuts are going to help him out with a little bit as they continue to zone back the opponent VPpolar lane, because Lil's now stuck here. Looks like by himself on this Dazzle.
Oh,
so
Mag again.
Back on mid again. Oh, he is able to orb up to the high ground this time. Very thankful to be level 2.
Yeah, that level 1, just having only phase shift was just killing him. Just getting punished by Loda and Ake. Now hits level, and good news, I guess, they've been so busy killing that they haven't gotten a ton of stacks. There's only one double out, but they're going to go again on the Mag!
Mag is just like, I've had enough of this, please! He has to orb back once more and use his salve. They will not let up on him.
Oh, they look for Potato. They get the stun off. If they get these chains, he's in trouble. Level 2 Flame Guard out. And Potato quickly begins to melt, burning down. A couple more auto attacks. Not enough for the kill, though. And they're, again, about to posture in here on Mag. Just setting up. You know they want to just jump him. Any second now it could come.
Now, with that engagement top, though, they do force Potato out of the lane. He has to do that long walk back to base. Since he has no more regen, he'll probably have to spend the 100 gold for a TP to get back. So it may not be a death, but it's almost just as good. So they are going to have plenty of space now in this top lane to work with. And
oh, Pikehead! Oh, no! He goes down to the big heal bomb from Lil! What a ridiculous play! The offlane Dazzle solo killing an Axe. Oh my. You don't see that one every day.
Looks
he
like
walked
they're do
right in the middle of the creep wave and just got blasted.
Was it level 3 as well?
I mean,
he probably got the level.
It was only a level 2 healing wave, but man, that thing hurts.
Oh, yes, it does. 100 damage, but that gets amplified by all those creeps, and Axe wants to be in those creeps. That was just absolutely an assault. And because now they're going to throw Potato in the bottom lane and just kind of do a bit of an audible here. My Nuts will now make the journey up to the top lane side by side with Pycat. So they needed to shift things up a bit. It looked like Tide wasn't getting a lot, and he would definitely square off much better against the solo Dazzle.
Honestly, even though the Tiny Wisp are wrecking mid, VPpolar is still getting a lot out of this. The Dazzle was, even before that kill, getting a ton of experience, which he desperately needs and sometimes struggles to find. And on top of that, Doom is having free farm in the jungle right now. Hits level 4, has the Tranquil Boots, so I think all things considered, this is still pretty decent for VPpolar. Now, they don't want to let Tiny Wisp just AFK free farm moving forward, but to give it away for this stage of the game is okay, as long as you bring the pressure before the Tiny starts accelerating his farm out of control. Uh-oh. DK Phobos. No luck for Pycat. Where are the spins? Takes the entire creep wave. Just can't get a single spin to come his way.
Yeah, not until the way out when it doesn't even really matter anymore. Damn RNG.
Look
now.
Lil. Drops the ulti, just zoning out Mr. Potato. They're having trouble dealing with the offlane Dazzle. It's not like he's just getting levels. He's bullying people out of this lane. My god. Like you said, new meta. Mid lane, it's old meta. Old meta mid lane, where Loda tosses the puck and almost kills him.
Mag is forced to heal up even more. He is not having the best time in this mid lane, but at least on the other sides, they're getting a lot. But now with the rune spawn, Ake bottles up the invis, drops down a ward, and looks like he might migrate towards the top end side. That leaves the bounty at the bottom, which no one is really moving towards quite yet. Mag might need to consider grabbing that for himself, but his bottle, does he have a bottle? Where is his bottle? I thought he was going to have one, but I guess not. So
it's not on the courier?
No.
Did they snipe it?
I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe we missed that while there was spins and wins happening elsewhere. Awkward.
If they had it, I feel like, yeah. They must have killed it then. There's no way he's that poor. He only has 7 CS, but I mean, it's 7 minutes in. I'm not sure. There was a lot else going on. That's where I wish we were casting from Dota TV, so we could go back and check.
Yeah.
What can you do?
Make a thread about it.
Yes. That's one option.
Pycat making work with the creeps that he managed to aggro over here on the side. That ward will die at the exact same moment. So your Axe has actually put together some respectable gold. It's obviously blitzing towards getting that Blink Dagger. He's got about 1,300 gold, and you can look for him to really go off the rails. Now, FNG, who's kind of dancing around the mid, and they are just beelining it right towards where this Vengeful Spirit could be, and they just immediately pull back.
Bottom lane, Potato gonna go down. Another struggling start here for the Potato. He's just not having a good day. First getting shut down on his puck, now getting dominated on his Tide. Doom was expended for this, and now they look to push the tower. They already have a medallion completed. We may see an early Roshan attempt here from VPpolar, as they will continue slashing away. Relocate not yet online. The Wisp only level 4 at 8 minutes. A bit behind, to be honest, despite all the early kills. And now Potato gets chased out again. Just that casual poison touch.
Pycat actually now comes back to the bottom lane. Are they going to do a notable switch here? But here comes the rest of VPpolar. The stun's going to catch him. Potato could be in trouble once more. But here we go. Cutting him off. Pycat does get the call, but the coil return. There's the Ravage. Does get it off. Walks away before he goes down. The long ball orb will not connect.
Double
but Tiger
dunk.
Still's drop. But yeah, dunk 1, dunk 2. Going to be there. Pycat puts them both down.
Retreating out their orb from Mag, just able to make it over the tree line. Will retreat to safety. Big kills there. Doom is going to cool down, though. You know Ravage is on cooldown. You have a medallion. I wonder if VPpolar just even try to sneak into the pit. The Dazzle heal is also pretty good there. Might be a bit premature to go for it now, but they do go ahead and deny the bottom tower. Axe getting a blink at this time. This could be the engine for some additional kills, and it's a timely blink. Ake's now closing in on level 6, 9 minutes in, despite that death earlier to the Dazzle. With this blink, they can start setting up relocate ganks all over the map, and it's going to put VPpolar into a much less comfortable position.
Yeah, we'll see. Having that also is just kind of the mind game factor. Like, relocates online, you always have to make sure you're not too far out past your leash, and always have someone nearby just in case. But it can work the other way. You can look to bait out or relocate and try to spring your trap right onto them. So that's where things really take an interesting turn. Now Pycat's smoked up. He is just beelining towards this mid lane. He's got his Blink Dagger, and he would love to debut it with another Slam Jam.
I would love to see another Slam Jam. They're always a blast. They have this ward up here. They may even try to make a go. Blinking on through. Grave will not protect you, but heal can. As well as that plus armor. Could maybe turn this. They doom, but it's onto Pycat. The more difficult here to bring down. Well, they get the easy kill there. Ake will fall. Now the coil into Loda. No defensive relocate. Wisp does not have buyback, so he's got to make it out on his own. 2 legs. He'll scurry away. Phobos on the chase. He settles for the chains on my nuts, and that's it. Potato also backing off. A massive 5-hero commitment from both teams. Still no Ravage for
They're
Potato.
not letting up. Pycat does have Blink. Jumps forward onto FNG. Puts out the Battle Hunger and the call. FNG. Oh, there's 1 spin. There's 2 spin. There's the dunk. He is going to be able to finish off the Vengeful Spirit. Now they turn back. Defensive weave going to be pulled out, and it looks like VPpolar are not going to look to pursue. So a nice quick pick right there for Alliance after the dust does settle. It's going to be 6-5. Still advantage for Virtus.pro.
Advantage for them, though. The one concern here is just the struggling puck right now. Mag, no Blink Dagger in sight. It's not going to be out for it's like the 15-16 minute mark, and without that, they don't really have a hero to go around putting pressure on Alliance. Ember can't do it alone. He's got to worry about relocate ganks, and Doom has gone Midas, as you pretty much always see nowadays. So there's going to be a good window here for Alliance to just AFK farm their woods. We'll probably see Ake and Loda stacking a lot, clearing stacks, and just looking to make up for lost time as he works towards his eggs. He's going to have a pretty good timing of 1-2. Third component now online. Should have the eggs by like the 13-14 minute mark at the latest.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's a bit interesting. He's just going to go right for the eggs, not stopping off for drums along the way, because some Tinies do favor a little bit of mobility top lane. I see Potato might be in trouble, and sure enough, that is the case. There's the stun and the negative weave, and now he does get off the Ravage. As Pycat jumps in onto 2, he could get 1 jam. Can he get the second? He dunk! Get the second. Double dunk right there. And now Phobos also with low life. Pycat, he's like, I want that dunk too, baby. Oh, got it! Triple kill for Pycat. That's a feeling you gotta love.
Oh, that's painful. That's the very scary lineup to take fights against now, and I don't know what you do. You have to either fight when relocates down or gank the Tiny Wisp. If you try to go on other heroes, you're gonna get punished heavily, and what's gonna make things harder is that Potato finally has his Arcane Boots, will work towards the Blink Dagger. When they get the double Blink initiators, 4 heroes could just jump you out of nowhere. Oops.
That was a slaughter. I caught it. Mid lane, just Pycat jumps in on a Mag, holds him in place, and there you see the Witch Doctor drops down the Death Ward, and Mag couldn't do anything. Just the duration of the call was enough to him get slaughtered.
Big kill. They're also stacking Ancients, something that Pycat can farm. You can use this for the Tide to get the Blink Dagger. This is going to really help get them into their full-scale team fight, and at the same time, the Ags for the Tiny is close. Everything's shaping up nicely here in the mid-game for Alliances. They keep it even running a Tiny Wisp. With a Tide backing it up, you can never feel too nervous when you've got that combo at your disposal.
Lota is very close to that Aghanim Scepter, just about 400 gold away. He might even nearly have it here. 300 more to go. The simple farm of these side camps, which are already stacked, is going to secure that Aghanims for him, and now you got that Weeping Willow to swing around, and Siege is so easy at this point. Then you can go for those tier 1 towers. The gold just continues to build up, and Virtus.pro are going to be pressured to kind of have an answer for the mid game because the pressure is just going to be coming from Alliance real hard.
Phobos, been quiet so far. We've seen him involved in a handful of fights, but yeah, just mostly working on his own personal farm. Mag will walk right into my nuts. He's actually going to get scared and back off. As it turns out, my nuts were way off on their own, but he didn't know that.
Scared of my nuts, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. They're pretty intimidating, I must say.
Lota and Ake nearby, walk away. That stack continues to grow. They get another one in the Ancient Camp. My goodness, look at all this gold that's potentially up for grabs. The Tiny has this big old tree. He's only level 1 ultimate. Just so funny to look at. Now, I don't know if they have enough to do this whole stack. They could need the Witch Doctor, but I guess that's more than enough. Him dancing here on the side, get him all that heal. Look at the gold come in here for Lota.
600. It's going to be around 1,000 and change, maybe 1,200. The 2 dragons about to fall. He's a
boom.
It's funny how much smaller he is at just level 1 ultimate compared to them. He's beating up all his big brothers with this club. Genocidal Tiny, no mercy.
I like how he's sporting the Empire stick, just kind of dedicating this one to them in the next round.
This one's for you.
Very nice. I carry on your legacy in this one. So we'll see. Alliance look damn strong in this. 9-6 for them, and I know my luck is that all these series always go to a game number 3, and it certainly seems to be trending that way. We'll have to see, though, if Virtus.pro can really find an answer. Illidan is finding some respectable farm on his Doom. Threw together those drums after already having that Midas, of course, and has about 800 gold here, but is a farmed up Doom really going to be enough to answer the now Pycat snowballing out of control on top of Lota's insane income? Ridiculous.
It can be, but it really depends on getting those good initiations right. You Doom and they just relocate out, well, you probably lost that fight. You Doom and the Tide's there to counter Ravage, you probably lost that fight.
They spotted Potato, Coil, the Weave going to pop out, and it looks like Tidehunter's also going to go down. Relocate comes in, and they want to get some sort of redemption. Pycat is able to blink onto Illidan, plus the Death Ward. Your Doom should be out. Save for now.
Kaboom!
There is your John Stockton, Karl Malone assisted dunk layup right there, and now Lil Hardy. Oh, he's trapped in the trees. And here's a tree for your face, says Lota. Tossed back and down, and
meanwhile, top lane, they've dove onto Ake. They will end up getting the Wisp. But the turn now comes as Pycat will blink call. He gets swapped forward, though, into trouble. They may turn this around and get a twofer. One more auto attack might be enough. Wave of Terror in 7 seconds. The blink in 2. He's going to blink to freedom. No, he's going to call. No mana for a chop, sadly, but he'll auto attack this one down. Securing the kill. Pycat playing some chest out Dota here and coming out on top. And while that was going on, Lota, he snags a tier 1 bottom.
From what I've seen, this just seems to suit Pycat so well. He loves to build up a little bit of farm, but then he wants to go all over the place, find kills, and make some action happen. Last game he played the Brood, and he kind of had to park himself in the bottom lane and just try to get those objectives and try to force Virtus.pro to come back and deal with them, and just constantly was being a nuisance. Now he could go around and be really action-packed, and that's what we like to see. He's actually building up. He's got Crimson Guard. He already has the Buckler and Recipe in hand, so this Crimson Guard is going to come together in really good time.
Yeah, very fast Crimson Guard. Nice against the minus armor strat, as you still have that solid, reliable damage block to help mitigate what VPpolar can throw your way. I think it's just getting a Crimson Guard this early is also very difficult to deal with. So I like this choice for Pycat. It gets them over the hump in this stage of the game, and There's a ping out bottom lane. They see Illidan. Now they're going to jump in onto Mag. And can they follow it up with the Avalanche, the club? Not even time for a dunk from KOTLguy. Just an easy takedown. And now they take the tower as well. Chopping through this. This is just all Alliance all the way. It's been a 5-6K gold swing. And they continue to ramp up as we head towards the later parts of the mid-game.
Yeah, and I imagine they got to feel a lot more comfortable. Already also battling onto the negative armor strat. Loda is well underway towards his AC. Just picks up his Hyperstone now. Already had the plate mail. Then, like, your big synergetic strategy that VP have with all that armor doesn't seem quite as potent, and it's rough stuff. Will Hardy had a beautiful start in the early game on that bottom, but now it's not going to be as effective with the weaves, so we'll have to see. This is feeling like more pressure on Phobos and Illidan to really step it up right now. Phobos is trying to throw together his Battle Fury so he can just accelerate the farm a bit. I don't know if there's going to be enough time with the tempo that Alliance are putting into this game. It's proven to be a bit troublesome for VPpolar thus far.
It's just so hard to keep up with the Tiny. You need like triple Midas or anti-mage with Battle Fury or something, and the thing about the Tiny that's scary when he's got Wisp is he can be farming way more than you and also joining the fights more often because of the relocate. They go on Potato now. Doomed again. Story of a Potato's life.
Well, at least he's good at soaking ultimates. He takes the coil and the Doom.
Yeah, just go top now. That's the call from the Potato. They'll head towards the top lane. 4 heroes grouping up, and they'll look for the tier 1. This will be an easy tier 1. I wonder if they even go for tier 2. Doom down for 80 seconds.
Yeah, I don't see why not. Looks like Virtus Pro know that they're going to be moving up there, and without those ultimates, they can't put up a defense. Loda does pick up the last hit on that tower, and, well, they continue to trot on forward, at least for now. But Virtus Pro, they want to maybe go for a trade or at least add pressure elsewhere. They were pushing in the bottom, but they do opt to pull back instead.
AC now complete. One of the other nice side benefits to this is it's going to make the Witch Doctor ult hit a little bit harder, as well as the X spin. So in addition to helping them withstand VPpolar's damage output, it gives them a little additional. Alliance going to be very happy with this item selection, as they will jump the Doom instantly. Force back, Loda getting aggressive here, and then just
he's down to a third life immediately.
In the meantime, DK Phobos gets dunked mid. They didn't even use Ravage, just a blink call. They managed to get the Axe calling Blade off and retreat out to safety. Well, I say to safety, they're charging in for battle, heading up towards the secret shop.
They know they can get a lot done, even when they're not together, so now they can finish off this tier 2 top lane. Boom! Okay, got it. Okay, Loda picks up the extra bit of gold after just completing his AC. He already has near 1,700 gold, and he'll take away the farm from the jungle. Virtus VPpolar, it is not looking good so far. I mean, at this point, what do? You just have to play so patient. And maybe hope for an opportunity for a pick-off and a take-back of some sort of Roche, but even at that point, they don't even have close to enough damage to make a go at that. They have a couple of stacks at this Ancient camp, but at the rate it's going, Alliance have a better chance of scouting it out and taking it for themselves.
Yeah, you go there, you get blink called and just destroyed quite likely. Potato moving through with my nuts at his side. They're not going to go up that hill, though, so they back off towards the mid-ramp. The Irradiant team Alliance with a comfortable lead of 8,000 gold and rising at 21 minutes. Farming the map, they did relocate bottom lane. Let's see if they leave Loda here just to clear the wave, or no, they're going to head back to the Ancients, and now they go towards mid. Just farming everywhere on the map.
Yeah, maybe Virtus Pro also wondering not to let the Wisp through in a draft like this. Alliance able to really take advantage of grabbing him and the Tiny.
They banned Troll Jug, I think, both games first phase. So if Alliance goes on to win this, then going into game 3, VPpolar, they could first pick the Wisp, which they have run, if they get first pick. Or maybe they have to ban it and then let the Troll or the Juggernaut through. So it's something they'll worry about if this game looks thoroughly out of reach. It's not looking good. They still have a Doom with the Midas and an Ember. Not a great chance that they win this game, to be honest, but I never would count out a Doom, especially if he manages to get the Eggs Refresher.
He's underway towards that Eggs. He's got the Point Booster and the Ogre Club. Still needs those 2 more components before he even has it together, but Looks like we're going to need a moment here for Alliance to kind of round things out. Reminder, if you're just tuning in, this is the Dota Asia Championships here 2015. So much money already being built up, about what, $1.6 million, and quickly rising and expected to go up even more so once the extra items do start coming out with that compendium. And these teams now on elimination. It's VPpolar match point for them. Alliance, they need this win just to take it to a game number 3.
Yeah, and, well, with that said, the winner will move on to play Na'Vi, who took down Empire earlier today. And the winner of that match, I believe, is into the top 3. So at that point, they'd be guaranteed to go. Is that correct? I think that is.
Yeah. Wild card will be played, of course, in Shanghai, and they'll look to battle it all out. And between...
Here we go. This is the best opportunity they're ever going to get. Coil from the high ground with the silence follow-up. Can they go in further? They get off the Doom onto Loda. Still, the Wisp is here on the backside, but doesn't have a relocate, so Loda just stands his ground. Pycat zoning everyone off with the Crimson Guard. They're hardly taking damage, and now they charge in while Loda's Doom, not even needing to relocate it back. Chop number 1. There's going to be more where that came from if he gets on silence. Ravage comes through. It's the double dunk from Pycat. Searches for more. Oh, no, no triple. Can't dunk that one, but Illidan still will slowly get worked down. A 3-for-1 with the Doom being blown. And now the Ancient stolen from bad tours for VPpolar. Gold, gold, money, and some more golden money.
And that was one of the better opportunities for VPpolar to get the upper hand. It was all set up with a very nice coil, and even Witch Doctor dropped his ult, and it was quickly canceled from the chains coming out from Ember, but it still ended up not working for them. Oh man, if it was already hard enough as it was, now with that big fight going towards Alliance and those stacks, this is pretty drastic right now.
FNG hanging out in the woods. He's got an Observer Ward planted down with Mag at his side. Oh, man. Loda is just so close to hitting critical mass. Manta Style about to come out. He has a double damage room bottled, and that was a fight where they, like, I don't know how you get a better initiation than that for VPpolar. They Blink Silence 3 or 4. They doomed Loda. There was no defensive relocate available. They coiled all of those heroes, and they just have no follow-up to that.
Smoke to Roche, it looks like the next plan here for Alliance. They'll move in and go. The closest is being Illidan's Doom, just up on the high ground right here.
Well, this is going to be a quick Roche. Double damage rune out. Loda pounding into it. He wants someone else to possibly tank this one, but yeah, maybe Pycat will lend him a hand. They could also use a Witch Doctor heal here, if need be. Easy Roche. Does there a Blink Steal from Mag, though? He orbs in. He's just a split second late to grab it. I feel like even if he steals the Aegis, though, it's obviously a big swing for them, but it's not...
Where are we going, boys? We're heading towards top lane, and FNG's already on the way out. Loda, though, hustling. Gets there. How many... We'll even... Yeah, okay. Doesn't even get to get a full swing in.
This is just absolutely brutal. Absolutely brutal.
That just seems to be the trend today. What was in our previous series? Spoiler alert, mind you. It was, what, game number 1, Na'Vi, absolutely dominant. Game number 2, Empire dominant. 3, Na'Vi looked good. Game number 1 here, VPpolar, well, it wasn't dominant, but they definitely had the upper hand for the majority of the game. Now this one, Alliance looking damn good.
Did you just put up the spoiler alert after I already spoiled the game like 2 minutes
Did you?
ago? Yes.
I don't know. Maybe someone tuned in. They're like, oh, I've missed Dota all day, and I'm just going to tune in right now.
Well, now we've successfully spoiled it twice, so hopefully you guys have been spoiled.
Oh, being spoiled is Dazzle as he just gets slaughtered. Look at the blood on the floor right there. Another dunk here for Pycat. He is sporting a very nice 11-1 record on this axe.
VPpolar just out of gas. Already Alliance breaking the base at 25 minutes. Tiny Manta up. Still has the Aegis to work with, clearing out the wave. They look for the backstep for Mag. Ravage is online. Everything ready for everyone. And they started off with a call. The Ravage follows this up. Connects on 3. Illidan gets beaten down. Pycat will be the doomed target. The coil was there on the backside by Mag. Gets the single kill on the Wisp. So no Wisp in the picture. But you kill the Wisp. Oh, too bad there's a Rock Band. Still in your house. Still his Aegis. Still just banging away on these buildings. Pycat being hunted by Mag here. But gets gushed. Mag retreating out. He will orb to the south. Loda still taking the racks during this time. And although Mag played that absolutely perfectly, they can't even get rid of the Aegis. you can't ask for a better fight than instantly sniping the Wisp, and it just doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was actually surprised. I thought that Ake would have even considered buying back just to relocate in, help overcharge Loda into finishing out both racks and then taking him away once it was done. But I imagine he probably wanted to save the gold and get that mech, which he does grab up right there. So that certainly does help. Now he can TP towards this mid lane and they can have a second go. Oh, quick remnant back so he can avoid that stun.
Spin through the wave, Pycat, and with the Aegis still being up, yeah, you just go for 2 lanes of Rex here. Go bottom lane, push the tier 2, and VPpolar, they don't split push that quickly, so they have to defend, but they just can't seem to take the fights. This one, there won't be a Ravage for, but in kind, there might not be a Doom until near the end of the push. 25 seconds and counting for that. And even if they have the Doom up, it's just a tough call as to who you do. They're going to relocate on mid. Pycat set this one up with a call. Oh, Ake forgot to bring his buddy. Now he's in a bit of trouble. He gets swapped back. Medallion have focused a free takedown on the Wisp. Pycat calls, but he'll die as well. A costly lack of tether there. Not sure if Loda walked out of range or if Ake just detethered or didn't retether in time. But either way, that's a couple of freebies going the way of VPpolar. They need more than just a few freebies, though, to come back into this.
Yeah, definitely. They'll need at least a handful. I don't know. At this point,
a
definitely a bit
full,
awkward.
I would say.
Yeah. Awkward for them not to be able to get the relocate in with Loda. First Pro capitalize on a situation which they desperately need to be able to get a couple more kills here. DK Phobos does complete his early tool belt of Ember Spirit, getting the both Battle Fury and now Crystallis, trying desperately to be able to throw together any sort of reliable damage so that when the pressure does come his way, he can throw out those sleight of fists to try to slow the roll of the pushing power of Alliance. But we'll see here, another DD rune has spawned top, and that is beautiful for someone like Loda. And this could be a potential way to relocate and absolute destruction of anyone.
This can be the GG rune, honestly. Run Tiny Wisp, get a double damage rune at this stage of the game. If they can't take you down quickly, which VPpolar seem completely unable to do, then good luck stopping them. They immediately run towards top. They see Lil, get the avalanche, and done.
Yeah, just wrong place, wrong time, unfortunately for him.
Every place that's not the fountain feels like the wrong place right now. Does it not? I mean, jeez. They'll push bottom. They've got creeps marching towards the base. No backdoor protection. Oh my, just chopping his way through. Brutal. Doesn't even need the Wisp support. Loda in a matter of...
Oh my god! It's like 3 swings to take down the Rex.
Well, there used to be a base here, Dakota. I don't know what happened to it, but it's looking pretty empty now.
Yeah, I could have sneezed and looked up and been like, what the hell happened?
He huffs, he puffs, and then he beats your house down.
Well, it looks like my curse continues, LD. There's potential here. I'm not going to say it's over yet, but definitely possibility for a potential game number 3, as Alliance have been absolutely dominant in this one, top to bottom. Loda, rather, 20k net worth for himself. Pycat the next closest, even 7k behind his core leader right there. It's got to be desperation mode here for VPpolar. They start moving out through their own jungle. Do they have a smoke? They do on FNG, and they will pop it. So this is looking like an attempt to go a bit aggressive, and it looks like they're beelining it towards both Ake and Loda.
They'll retreat out, sending the illusions in. Well, they don't break the smoke, so VPpolar not going to fall for that. They'll back off. But also not getting any real openings here, unfortunately. And it's got to be a big pick, it feels like. Like, just getting a kill on the Witch Doctor or something ain't going to cut it. They do ward up the high ground. They get the Wisp. Potentially, they doom the Tiny, but they keep Ake back, stunning him as he goes for the relocate, and he can't get it off. He ends up falling. Loda could be next if they can finish him. The Witch Doctor, although look at the damage output. Almost bringing down everyone. Forced to run away as DK Phobos. The Tiny Wisp do end up falling. Can they make it out now safely? Ember on the hunt. Axe surging in. He's got his ultimate ready with the Aghanim Scepter. I think a couple heroes below the threshold right now. Mag, he's below. And they can call onto Illidan if they want. Orb gonna cancel that Blink Dagger. He chases in. Illidan about to get chopped. Yep, there's chop number 1. Looking for more. They toss in the Tide as he's been bought back. A double kill for Pycat. And they're gonna search for a third and final lane of Rex.
And that was VPpolar getting the upper hand with that good initiation. They got a hold of Loda, and they even had the heads up to jump past and stop Ake from trying to save him. So they get them both down, but even with the backup crew, it was more than enough to really take it to VPpolar. It did cost Loda a buyback, but now more buybacks have to come out from the side of VP. Ilden's going to be there, swap back onto Pycat. Pycat could be in trouble. There's a big bounty there if they could take his head, but they already dropped FNG, and now they just bounce on back. They win this fight. They could very well win the game. Mag in big trouble, able to live for now. They will be able to step back. They do get the potato. Double kill for DK Phobos. My Nuts could be in trouble as they get chained down. And, well, a few more auto attacks. They take down My Nuts. So, with that, VPpolar, for what feels like the first time in quite a while, are able to come out on top at the end of this skirmish. And they will step back. Low to try to get the blind stun off on maybe a lingering mag, but not going to be the case.
VPpolar still are down 2 lanes of Rex, though. The Tiny bought back, hasn't died again at least. He's close to his Daedalus. I think you just want to chill if you're Alliance. Wait for your buybacks farming. You don't need to win the game right now. Try and secure this next Roshan, which shouldn't be that difficult when you have Ravage up in 30 seconds. And to go along with that, the refresher is now complete for Tide. So I think if you're Alliance, you just need to relax, take a deep breath, and go for slightly safer plays. They try to end the game immediately. With the Aegis and Refresher Ravage, that's when you should just be able to force your way in and take the win.
Certainly so. As if Loda didn't hit hard enough, his Crystal is complete in 3k gold. I don't know. It took... I mean, he did have a DD before. It only took 3 swings to bring it down, but anytime he has the opportunity to get into the base, that's when it could be absolutely devastating here. VPpolar, who have yet to really even break past the river, it feels. It feels like they've been so congested and corralled on their side. Any of them not really able to spread out too far to find their own bits of farm, but that double crit on Ember Spirit, he gets lucky with some of those procs. You never know.
This is their last smoke for 11 minutes and change. This could be bad if they don't get a kill here. Loda doomed to start it off, but the quick relocate back comes out. Then the Ravage counter initiates. Ravage number 2 is available, and they're going to start it off with a dunk. They're winning this fight without even having the Tiny Wisp. Chasing everyone back. Secondary Ravage. They're going to win the game without the Tiny Wisp. Another dunk, another kill. Oh, shit, fight's over, guys. Okay, we'll come kill buildings now.
Good work, everyone.
Give them a round of applause. You know,
here's a high five for me, high five for you, and now they just trot towards the final buildings here. And VPpolar, I imagine, maybe considering grabbing that white flag and tying it to the lower part of the pole before they raise it. As a long ball cask sends all the way back to the base there for Phobos as they take this time to just clear out. There's your tier 3 down, 1 Rax to drop, the second shortly thereafter. Even a buyback coming out from Mag. VPpolar feeling like this could be their last hurrah, but the damage has already been done. The Megas have been unleashed, and LD, it's feeling like game number 3 is pretty much inevitable.
Well, they're not giving up yet. Mag on the chase, will orb in, and Pycat's waiting for him. McCall used while he's phase shifted. It'll silence now, but then the Yules to try and kite. Wait this one a bit longer, and then chopped. Well,
there's more blood on the floor than I feel like Puck even has.
It's a remarkable property of this Nightmare Blade. It creates blood whenever it kills. Fountains and oodles of blood gushing everywhere. Well, they're now fighting Mega Creeps. VPpolar really up against it. 3
crits on Ember Spirit now. The trifecta of Crystallis.
The value Crystallis. When you have this many item slots, it's actually fairly gold efficient to go for the crits, but generally you run out of slots and then you're in a mess later on. But at this stage, just spending gold that he can, and also the only items he can get to easily at the fountain is, let's just say, the shop is not particularly safe right now. Not a good place to go if you're the Ember.
So Alliance now with this extra life, I suppose maybe they could just kind of throw bodies into the base. They've already been winning, even without having Loda and Ake involved. I figured they could just take one more big fight and then be able to take it right to the tier 4s and then to the jugular itself. For VPpolar, though, never say die seems to be their motto. They're not looking to throw the GG. Maybe early discussions for game number 3, who knows, but confident as ever, and maybe with the help of that Sleight of Fist, they can keep these creeps back. But it's feeling like a game of Space Invaders at this point.
Yeah, they're tower defense, space invaders, pick your poison. VPpolar on the side with endless armies of enemies charging into their base. It's like the Battle of Helm's Deep or something for the forces of light. Just hordes and hordes of orcs. Yeah, technically these are radiant creeps, but we'll look past that. And now at long last, Alliance, they want to put this dog down, put it out of its misery. VPpolar, they'll be facing the onslaught soon enough. Loda has his buyback in a minute, has Aegis now. Aegis gonna last him a couple of minutes. So if they want to wait 1 minute, they will have 3 lives on the Tiny. And other buybacks, there's nothing right now. Wisp, 80 gold short. Let's go hit tier 4s. That's the plan for Loda. They're smoked. They're ready to engage EGMs. He sees Illidan here bottom, who's trying to get to the side shop to buy his refresher, but Pycat's gonna stop him in his tracks, bring him low. Then the Doom is forced out just so he doesn't get dunked, and in the meantime, the base is in shambles as Loda caves in the Ancient, continues to pound away at it, and at long last, VPpolar cry uncle. We're going into a deciding game 3. We've had a lot of these recently.
So persistent. He's like, I'm getting that refresher. Even if I don't get to use it, I'm gonna get it. He gets in there and he gets it. And then they call GG right after. All right, well, Alliance, they look pretty good in game number 2. Maybe need to consider making sure we ban out that Wisp on the side of VPpolar, but here we go, LDing. Classic fashion, we gotta take it to a game number 3.
Yeah, we've had a lot of these lately, so we won't waste any time with breaking this one down, but suffice it to say, Alliance looking really strong here, and I think for me, just the pick that pulled it all together was really the Axe. Running the Axe shut down the Dazzle completely, despite giving up the 1 solo kill bottom, and later on, the Blink initiations really created a lot of space for Tiny Wisp, gave the Tiny a lot of free kills, and it gave VPpolar so many problems. With that said, guys, game 2 now in the books. We're going to move into our deciding game 3. Losing team eliminated. The winners will play Na'Vi. And the winner of that match is going no matter what. They go to China. They will have a shot, at least as a wildcard team, possibly as the one main event representative from Europe who's qualified their way in. So with that said, game 3 coming up next. You're watching Beyond the Summits presentation of the Dota 2 Asia Championships. I'm LD. He's KOTLguy. You can follow him on Twitter at KOTLguy. Myself at LD Dota. We'll be right back.